And welcome back. The year is 1995 and Drew Wager launches the very last Frontier First Encounters stream. We are here, we are back, we are on Sotis, something. Anyway, here, where the in-ray base was. Welcome back, I'm back, I've had a holiday. It's been awesome, I had a very nice, thank you for asking by the way everybody. I had a lovely holiday. We went for a week in Scotland, where we walked a very, very long way. Not all the way to Scotland, obviously, that would be insane. But we walked, we didn't walk to Scotland. We drove to Scotland and stopped, hired a house, rented a house, and then walked around Scotland, which actually was jolly nice and quiet. And there were mountains and hills and fields and rivers and lakes and lochs and stuff. So it was excellent. We enjoyed that. And that was with the entire family. And then came back and my wife and I went for a week away to recover from the holiday. So we went somewhere else and just sort of chilled out for a week, which was awesome. So, and as usual with the stream, yes, lots of stuff is on fire. Yeah, I had to remember how to do all this. I'm at that age where when you don't do something repetitively, you sit down and go, right, I'm going to do this thing, right, and you switch it all on and go, yeah, you can't remember how it works. So it's like, yeah, OBS, yeah, that's the game now. How do I load the file? I made sure I got up especially early for you guys, just to make sure I could remember how everything works. I hope you appreciate that. It doesn't seem like 2 weeks is. I know, but doesn't time fly? There we go. Anyway, so I'm back. Yes, we're good. So and Scotland was nice, and our other week away was jolly nice as well. So I am refreshed. I'm recharged. I'm all good. And I actually, I kind of did a bit of work on my novels over the break. We had lots of downtime, which was nice. So I got a bit of work done on Doom Darks, which is getting there. Which the second draft is getting there. So anyway, so lovely to see so many people. I saw Stephen Usher earlier on, so I'm glad he's here because I kind of need Stephen's support every so often with obtuse 16-bit questions, which is good. And Commander Beetlejuice, it's nice to see you, my love. There you go. Lovely to see you too. So good to see yourself. And all my regulars on here: Kelvinator, GR1988. Cyber Darmy, Gunblade Lad. Yeah, there's just too many names. There's too many names. So hooray for you guys. Yeah, it's all here. It's excellent. So now this, I believe, will be the last Frontier First Encounters stream that we do, because we're almost out of stuff to do. There are a few extra bits I've been suggested to do as well. But yeah, we're not so much reaching the end, because more is sort of fizzling out, I think is the way to describe this game, because we're on the last mission. At least I think we're on the last mission, and that's kind of it. But the story continues. But there we go. So we are going to have a little bit of a discussion and ideas in the chat actually for what should we do next on the retro stream. And I'd kind of like it to be 8-bit and 16-bit stuff, because I think after that it's a bit too. I don't know. When does retro start? I mean, I don't know. When does retro start? Commander Lightmo, yes, I will go to Sirius B. I promise we'll do a trip to Sirius B. That's. I saw the tweet, so thank you very much for that. We'll do the Sirius B. Uleet. I suppose we could touch on Uleet for those of you who don't know. It's kind of not retro, is it? But I don't mind doing Elite. I did think about doing Wing Commander 3, which is definitely Ring thing. I suppose we could keep it in the Elite thing and do a bit of Elite. Does it? Yeah, and there's loads of mod packs which we can talk about, and that is the only way to experience the Tianuzla Orbital Graveyard, which is now my absolute chestnut, as you're probably aware if you've seen any of my posts on the Frontier forum of late. I should preface everything with graveyard ? TIE Fighter from 1995, is that retro? Yeah, so I think anything pre-2000 kind of counts as retro now, doesn't it? I mean, is 20 years enough for things to be retro? I certainly am retro, but I'm like 50, so I don't know, when does retro start? Is it 25 years? Commander Lightbulb's 33, is he? No, you're definitely not retro at the age of 33. Anything with 320 by 200 resolution. Okay, so it's resolution dependent, is it? Homeworld was nice. Oh, the original Homeworld. Yeah, no, that's not a bad idea. Tomb Raider and the Violins of Venice. Yeah, I remember that. That was good. Freelancer. Freelancer's not a bad call. Yeah, we could try some retro space theme stuff. Very good shout with Homeworld. Okay, so I'll tell you what. Because I don't want to upset my PC, I'm going to get my notebook out. This is very retro. Now this is a device. For those of you not familiar with this, this is a long-term storage device. The storage density isn't very high. However, it's extremely reliable, and the batteries last effectively forever. So I'm going to make a note. I'm going to write this down. Otherwise, I will forget. Homeworld. Homeworld is one. I came up with Wing Commander 3. Olite. Freelancer so far, so I will keep the I will keep the book. We've got it, generally it's all there. Look, it's all there. Here we are. I've written it down. So I think space games. Let's stick with space games for the time being. We'll go with that and see as just retro our way through that. Star Wars. Yeah, no, actually the Star Wars games, TIE Fighter and stuff like that. Some of those are quite good because it's fun just revisiting stuff. Varus. Was it good? Now I was a bit confused about, was it Varus or Zark first? Because there are two versions of the game. Is Zark the first one and Varus the second one, or is it the other way around? Starwing, all the ideas, all the old games are coming out now. Starwing, I don't think I've even played those. I put Varus and Zark down. Zark was first, says Stephen. So I knew Stephen would know. Star Control 2. Wow. I'm gonna have to look some of these up. Too many games I haven't played. Maybe I tell you what we could do. We could do a history of space combat games, couldn't we? And just touch on them throughout the generation. Because going back, some of the early ones are quite good. One stream per game. Yeah, we don't have to spend too much time because I mean a lot of the games won't have that much replayability, will they? I'm sure. I don't know when Frontier First Encounters next going to be dug up from its kind of grave and never played again. But there we go. Do the game having to talk? I don't think they have to have a storyline, but if they do, I think that might push them up the list, if that makes sense. Okay, so how many bits can I fit? No, I'm not sure, but it does have compression technology in the sense that if I write smaller, I can get more in the book. Oh, guys, something is approaching from the west. Yeah. Space tea! Yay, thank you, my love.
That's okay.
Space tea has arrived. Awesome. So Lunar Lander, yes, on the Spectrum. So even before the Spectrum days, you had Star Trek text-based games. How many of you have seen that? So that might we could kind of do almost a history of space. I quite like that idea actually. Maybe a history of space games on computers. Back in the BASIC and CPM sort of days, all that sort of stuff. So anyway, keep the ideas chugging in. TIE Fighter is a storyline. So yeah, so TIE Fighter and X-Wing had a storyline. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Text game. Yes, that's a good Hitchhikers. I'm gonna put that on the list. So I kind of like the idea of let's have a trawl through history of space games in general. Monkey Island was good as well. Star Wars and Free Space, yes. What was the other one? Descent. I quite like Descent. That was quite good. So anyway, well, there's like about 12 things on the list. That'll probably last us a few months. Descent was MS-DOS. Yes, it was, wasn't it? So that, MS-DOS is all right. You're going to run out of paper. No, I think we've got enough for now. That'll do. Anyway, we need to get on with this. This is where stuff is happening. So we are on HOTIS 1, having just destroyed the INRA base. And for those of you, shall we go back a step, because it might be fun for you to see the destruction of the INRA base once more, because it was, I'm sure you will know on previous streams, pretty darn spectacular. Although I was kind of spoiled it here by showing you the destruction of the base, but let's go back. Apologies if you can hear kids screaming in the background. I think my neighbours are out with a bouncy trampoline, and they appear to have scared off the space birds. So now you've got space wild kids in the background. Right, so that's still the same. That's still the same. There's the INRA base. Right, and that's us. That's up in space. So remember what we were doing. Right, so this was there. Here we go. So this is us. This is us. I think approaching the INRA base, from what I remember, in our waggedy-tailed spaceship. So previously on Frontier First Encounters, Drew and the crew were approaching the INRA base very stealthily with their waggedy-tailed spaceship. Which looks like this. Here it is. Oh, it's upside down. Why is it upside down? Nope, that's not how you do it. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. So for those of you who haven't seen this, I mean, it's just a comedy spaceship. So all you guys are the true crew, okay? Or the druids. Sometimes we call it. We call ourselves. Drew and the Druids, or Drew and the Crew, the Drew Crew. I quite like the Drew Crew, actually. It's easy to say. So this is what passed for cutting edge space design back in 1995, or the year 3250. Now, quite what happened to the waggedy-tailed spaceships by the time of Elite Dangerous, nobody knows. It's a piece of lore that should be written, I think. Yeah. I have no words for this. I cannot. I mean, this is when people say to me, "Elite's always about realism," I go, yeah. Elite's all very serious game. Must take it very seriously. It's all about realism. She just listened. A waggedy-tailed spaceship. Now I have done this before the stream, but I'm just going to do it now because it chuckles, because you've got this kind of this is sleepy Labrador mode, and if you use the time acceleration, which of course you can do, then you get happy Labrador mode. Or this is waiting for dog biscuit mode. So I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, I assume David Braben designed this ship. You know, he who is responsible for the Stellar Forge and the realistic one-to-one representation of the Milky Way. Everything else, and then there's this. It's quite funny. Right, so we've got to get down to the surface, as I recall. Now, we've already done this, but let's do it again. To kind of get us back in, because we need to get back into the immersion. We never called it immersion back in the day. I don't know what we called it. Yeah, I don't know if there's any way to determine the frame rate inside the game, but it is it is slightly more consistent than certain other space games we can mention. So I think this appears to be the target. So let's put the autopilot on and go down there. Because I think I've got to blow it up. So there's the. I mean, and again, for 1995, actually, the ground technology is. I think the spaceship isn't really. And for those of you not familiar with this this reticle here is where we're pointing, and the reticle. Sorry, you can't see. Actually, you can't see my mouse. Yes, you can. This reticle is where we're pointing. This reticle is where we're actually going. So the ship is not quite doing quite the right thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stop it. I think we're going to turn the autopilot off, because the autopilot in this game is, well, it's let's say it's not entirely reliable, I think is the best way to describe it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the main engines to actually not reverse, but slow us down faster, because as you can see, we're going straight past the target, and I think I may already have gone too close to the planet. I'm not sure. Let's find out. Yep. Oh, I bounced off the ground. That's because I was spending far too much time on the wiggity dog leg thing. Tail wiggity dog leg. Alright, let's try that again. So yeah, the auto crasher. It's often been called. Hopefully, since we're out this far out, I suppose, let's just see if that can slow us. Is it going to slow us down enough? I don't think it is. So we're obviously coming in too hot from the perspective of the save. In fact, the ship has got so much power now that it's able to impact the planet head on and survive. So, right, let's obviously. I think what I must have done is braked to a halt first up in space. Let's try that. Probably by flipping the ship over and then braking to a halt. So let's put the planet behind us. That should take us to full throttle in reverse. Now the external camera is mucked up as well. There we go. Waggly tail deployed. All thrusters on maximum reverse. There we go. Okay, so this should bring us to a halt. Hopefully near enough to the planet that we can... There we go. Okay, so... I've forgotten how difficult this... So there's the base. Okay, now it's unmarked. The ship has been saved by the power of the waggly tail, yes. Oh yeah, we've got to watch out for the angry Karens. To avoid that as well. Because... yes, I think was it the last episode where I was just pursued across the universe by a rampaging horde of very, very upset women who just wanted to kill me. For reasons I didn't really understand. Right, so... Let's call this Vaccine 2, just because that's what we're doing. Vaccine 2, right. Okay, so we want to go down to this base, so let's go there. Let's see if the autopilot can take us down safely now that we've come to a halt. It should be able to. Okay, so this is the INRA base. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. You will regret dealing with half of the female population in the galaxy, etc. Yes, it's the same message over and over and over again. Which seems to be a theme, doesn't it? It seems to be a theme. Let's not have too much in the way of NPC dialogue, because, I mean, who reads that stuff? Right, here we go, 170 kilometres away. This is the INRA base. Now, I can't remember, do we have to hit it with a missile, or do we have to just laser it? I can't remember. I don't think it matters, actually. Here it comes. Is the ship slowing down enough? I've got a feeling it's not. It's busted. So the autopilot cannot cope. Here we go, ploughing straight to the ground. Boom. It's just... dear. I'm going to have to fly it down manually. Let's just get the autopilot. The autopilot seems unable to just approach a target, you know. The one thing you would want an autopilot to actually do, it's actually incapable of doing. I think there must be a bug. I think the surprise, surprise. I think there must be a bug. I think the bug actually must be that the game, the autopilot for this particular ship doesn't know how, or is not calculating the amount of retro thruster the ship has available. I think the ship doesn't have as much retro thruster as the autopilot thinks it does, or something like that. And as you can see, the retro thrusters on the ship are very, very weak. They're just I mean, it is kind of working. So I'm going to go in at 1,000 kilometers an hour, which is probably fast enough, isn't it? There we go. I think it's something like that. I don't know what. Yeah, advanced docking. That's what it is. You just need another thing. I don't think there is one, is there? Yeah, just a kamikaze attack. That's the way to deal with it. Right. So we've actually we're now approaching at a very slow rate. So I'm just going to go down using this. This is the other way to do it: is to set your speed to something quite low and then just go down using the Star Dreamer. It's a much more effective way of approach. It's not very stealthy, because presumably the bad guys can see you coming, but it seems to work okay for our purposes. Right, so let's slow it down. There's the base. Right, it's 100 kilometers away. So let's get down there. So this is the INRA base. For those of you who like the lore of Elite, this is the INRA base where the mycoid virus was manufactured, and where the vaccine to it is, or the antidote. So we're coming down. We've been told to go here by the Thargoids themselves and get the base. So what we've actually got to do is we've got to destroy the base where all the scientists are working. Now this is the base. So there's a spinning antenna. The base is, I assume, that bit in the middle. So let's see if we can get a little bit closer. So we're like 5,000 meters up at the moment. Let's go down a bit more. There's the base in all its glory, all its 16-bit low-resolution glory. So yeah, so Thargoids communicate with us in large quantities of text. So yeah, there's no problem with the Thargoids communicating with us. We also learnt from the text that the Thargoids are clones of some kind. Right, so there we go. We're now 2 kilometers above the base. That will probably do, won't it? Okay, so here's the INRA base, okay, which seems to have taken no notice of a threatening ship hovering above it. Armed to the teeth with stuff. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Actually, yeah, exactly. The flashy light towers, exactly what every secret base is. They've just switched themselves off, which is. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to blast it. Okay, so here I'm going to blast it with the laser gun. Now, watch what happens to the base. Oh no, the lights have just switched back on again. There we go. That's interesting. Actually, when I update my position, they seem to move. Maybe that's just another bug. Right, here we go. We're going to zap the base. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Funny thing is, the base increases in the surface area 4 times and catches fire. Because there we go. Nobody knows. It's some sort of, so presumably that's supposed to be debris. I suppose it's just not very well animated. It's slightly better than the most unrealistic explosion in the entirety of space history, which we encountered a few weeks back when we destroyed the what was that? The military defense satellites, which was about 6 miles wide, and it explosion was like about 2 feet across. So with a bit of luck here, I should be able to land. Hopefully I've got the ship flat. Difficult to tell. Yeah, there we go. So we're landed on the ground, okay? We've blown up the INRA base, and the INRA base has sort of morphed into, I don't know, a strange shape for some reason. What we've got to do now is we've got to deploy our MB4 mining machine, which I can't remember how to do. There we go. So it's in the cargo bay. How do we deploy it? I think we have to. Oh, there we go. Right. So here goes the MB4 mining machine. Here we go. So sort of, it's a sort of retro limpet, but it only works on the ground. Right. MB4 mining assessment. Surface is mainly water. So there's, as you can see, there's the MB4 mining machine. Now, the MB4 mining machine you can leave on the surface, so it's like a surface deployable thing, and it will sit there, and you can go back and find it. It doesn't look a bit like an AST, doesn't it? Watching the stream in 360p does the graphics a favour. Do I look all pixelated? You can actually take off and you can track this MB4 mining machine from space. It's actually quite good. The only problem is you can't hyperspace away from the system it's in, otherwise the game crashes. And that's also a bug. Now, I think I'm right in saying that the MB4 mining machine should now have picked up. Maybe we have to bring it back again. I think once we bring the MB4 mining machine back in, I wonder if we can see the MB4. Yeah, there it is. Okay, there you go. You can sort of see. Actually, let's put it around that side. You can see it better. But we're sort of floating in the air, aren't we? Let's see if can we zoom. There you go. There's the MB4 mining machine in all its glory. It's like a little. It's kind of like a little probe, isn't it? That's sort of stuck on the surface. Yeah. Sorry, the space kids. Apologies for the space kids. So we just got to wait a little bit and then recall the MB4. Okay, so the MB4 somehow is grabbing the vaccine from the destroyed base. But obviously there's limited ways for it to interact. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the time acceleration on for a bit. There we go. Time acceleration is constant amusement. Right, that's. I know it's been there for several minutes now. Let's try and bring it back in and see if we've got anything. So what's nice here is that we can watch it fold away. Here we go, ready? And it should. Oh, the cargo hold is full. So as you can see, we've got quite a lot of. We've got loads of radioactives. Let's. Cargo can only be jettisoned when in free flight. Well, obviously. Yeah, the fire. Okay, we're gonna have to go up and then jettison. Right, let's. Okay, well, all right then. Let's go up. Oh, switch engines on. There we go. Okay, so let's jettison some stuff. Let's just chuck radioactive everywhere. Because why not? Will that work? Okay, we're coming back down again. Look, right, now we're landed. Is that sufficient to bring us back in? Or maybe I might need to edit the. Yeah, the cargo. So I've got the cargo hold's full because I I hacked the game. Surprise, surprise. Let me just deal with that. Because there's a bit too much military fuel in there for reasons. Right, so let's have no military fuel in there for the moment. We'll fix that in a bit. All right, let's bring the MB4 back on board then. Notice of them was true. Sorry, was that a bit loud with the jettisoning? Right, machine. There we go. It's loaded. Look at that. It's all folding itself away. Quite a nice little bit of animation, just disappears. Right, so with a bit of luck, there we go. We have the hypermycoid vaccine back on board. And as you can see, they didn't test the text length, so it kind of overwrites the 5 tons. But never mind. Right, so now we have the hypermycoid vaccine on board. We can now take off and go back to where the Thargoids need the vaccine to fix the problem that INRA caused to them by destroying their hyperdrives. So that's basically what we've got to do now. So we have to say goodbye to the destroyed INRA base, and go and help the Thargoids. This is the twist for the end of this game. You see, is we're actually helping the Thargoids. So INRA attacked them with the mycoid virus. Very good tea, space tea. And destroyed their hyperdrives and them. So it was a sort of a mass genocide on the Thargoids, and they were trying to stop themselves being infected by it. Yeah, I'll put some fuel in the tanks by the magic of the Buffett program here. So apologies for the mouse clicks. It's actually a handy program, I have to say. It's magic space powers. And look, this is, you know, in the Kickstarter for Elite Dangerous, they promised godlike powers. Well, this is basically it for this game. I have total godlike powers over it because I can change any element of the game while it's running. This is very, very cool. So it's a fantastic program. Anyway, right, let's get underway. So the Thargoids need us to help them. So, you know, who are we to say no? Do you actually ever see a Thargoid looks like? Not in the game. No, we see Thargoid ships, but we don't see the Thargoids themselves. Right, so there's the destroyed Inra base, which sort of is hollow, isn't it? Not quite sure what's going on there. Anyway, let's see if we can get a view of it as we leave. There we go. So it's sort of been blown. It's sort of unfolded a bit like a piece of origami. And it's, you know, those fires are burning. So, you know, one laser shot and boom. There's obviously a lot of explosive stuff in there. And it's still, they kind of look like little Christmas trees, don't they? But there we go. Anyway, that's the Inra base. We've destroyed the Inra base, so off we go. Now where we got to go. That's right. Target system is, thank you very much, Gumday, the Miyake system, which is minus, you know, which is a long way off. So we're currently in the HOTIS system, which is -3, -2, and we've got to go to 37144, which is just an insane distance away. And if you haven't hacked the game like I have, it's virtually, you know, these distances are just impossible to navigate. So this mission can never ever have been play tested. So you know, this game. The funny thing is here that it's saying, you know, the undercarriage is down. Well, there isn't any undercarriage on the spaceship. The only thing that happens when you put the undercarriage up is that the tail of the ship starts wagging. You can't explain it. So other than that, it's a really cool. It's quite a cool ship, really. But it's the waggedy tail. What? Commander Terragov, Drew, welcome back. Thank you very much. Appreciate the welcome from you all. So this particular mission can never have been play tested. Or if it was just, well, we're going to have to sign this off as is busted, because there's no way you can do this mission. In fact, there's no way you can do most of the missions towards the back end of the game, because they're either impossible because you don't have enough time, or they're impossible because you can't get a good enough ship to do them, or they're impossible because you can't carry enough fuel to actually get you to any of the destinations that you need to get to. One of those three things is always true. We've got to travel here a distance of, I mean, how far is it? What have I got to get to? 37144. So that's like 144 is up here. There we go. And then across. There we are. So the Miyake system, which is somewhere around here. It's not even a very obvious system. In fact, I can't even find it now. 38. So it must be. There it is. There. Okay. Got it. Boom. It's 1,221 light years. Now that might not feel much in Elite Dangerous terms, but in this game, it's just a ridiculous distance away. It's really impossible to get to, even for this ship. And I've, as you know, I've hacked it. I've hacked this game in order for us to play it. This is the sad thing. So, right. Anyway, so we now need to. How do I get back to where I am? I don't know where I am. I was at -3, -2, wasn't I? So I've obviously come too far that way. Right, now I'm in range. So we've actually -3, somewhere around here somewhere. Oh, there I am. I'm over there. Right. Okay. Right. So we need to kind of go north, and I know this doesn't make sense in space, but north and east. To the edge of our jump range. Now our jump range in this ship at the moment is is pretty good. Okay, it can do 6 tons of fuel will get us to. I don't know what those kids are doing out there. It sounds like they're murdering each other. I don't remember. I don't know if that's a thing nowadays. I don't remember screaming blue murder at my friends when I was playing with them when I was like 8. Maybe I did. Right, so we can jump 91 light years in one go. Okay, which is pretty good actually. In fact, that's very good, isn't it? If you think about it in Elite Dangerous terms. Is there any ships that can do 91 light years in a single jump in Elite Dangerous? Obviously, maybe with synthesis. Can't say that. Synthesis. I can't actually say that word. Synthesis. You know what I mean? That word. Synthesis. Yeah, you know when you try something more and more, it just doesn't work. Most is about 83 light years with an Anaconda. Okay, so this ship is actually in the lore. Presumably the ship did exist. It can jump further than Anaconda. There we go. So yeah, so that was 91.06 light years, and boom. Here we are. So anyway, we need to do this jump a lot of times. So I'm going to go across to. That's out of range. There we go. 93 light years. Oh, I'll still put the undercarriage down, but make sure the waggedy tail is engaged. So now we've got to go back. So it's about 93, 92 light years is about as far as we can manage. So yeah, so this is a class 4 military drive we have on this ship, yeah, all that technology course has well, officially it's kind of been ignored. Unofficially it's been replaced. If you've seen my lore video on hyperspace technology, I've gone into some depth because I found it quite interesting, the evolution of hyperspace technology in the Elite Dangerous universe. But I don't think, other than me, it's ever really been probably acknowledged. There was a single Galnet article, which did make me chuckle, because about this is a slight aside on hyperspace technology. I can't remember when I did it. It must have been 2015, 2016, something like that. I'd have to go and look it up. I wrote because I was writing at the time. I was writing some law articles on my blog, rather than doing them on YouTube. Because I hadn't cottoned on to the whole idea of YouTube at the moment, but I wrote this article on hyperspace technology and gave them names. Okay, so I thought I don't quite know why I came up with the name, the sort of nomenclature I used, but basically I said, there's hyperspace 0, which was the original system. There's hyperspace 1, hyperspace 2, and 2B, and then kind of hyperspace 3, which I called, was what I called the frameshift drive, and I made that up. Okay, it wasn't official law at all. It was just my classification system. Okay, so to kind of explain it. Okay, so the original hyperspace system was in the Dark Wheel novel, where you couldn't jump into hyperspace without external assistance. Then in the original game, so that was hyperspace 0. In hyperspace 1, that was the original game, where you could just press hyperspace and jump, but you can only do 7 light years in one go. Hyperspace 2 is the version that we have in this game, where it takes an awfully long time to get in here, where several days. But you can have much greater extended hyperspace ranges, but it takes an awful long period of time. And then hyperspace 3 is the FSD in Elite Dangerous, which allows you to go extremely long distances and in a short space of time. So those are the different technologies. Anyway, so I wrote this lore article on my blog, totally unofficial, just as my explanation of how hyperspace worked. A few weeks later, unbeknownst to me, but notes to everyone else, an official Galnet article on hyperspace appeared, referring to hyperspace versions 0 to 3 and 2B. And I was like, where did you get that from, I wonder? So I did chuckle, but it was subtly rewritten, but not very subtly rewritten. And so my unofficial law became accidentally official. Did they pay me a royalty for this? What do you think? So yeah, that's I mean that's a way ancient history now. So that sort of accidentally became law, and I think what happened was somebody in Frontier went, Drew knows his law. It must be right if Drew's put it up on his website. So I'm just going to pinch that. So it accidentally became law. Maybe I should try that again. Dear. So anyway, there we go. Right, we're now heading north through space. I'm sure. Right, so there's a new issue of Universal Scientist available, but we're nowhere near a space station, so we can't. We can't read it. Look how far we've got to go. So you know, you'd have to carry. As you can see, it's taking us 7 tons of fuel to do this every time we jump. And there aren't any space stations out here. Okay, this is why this bit cannot have been play tested. Okay, the ship doesn't have enough space on it to store vast amounts of fuel. And before the mission starts, you have no idea that you need to go out into deep space or not. There's nothing in the mission that tells you there's a massive requirement for fuel. And you can't fuel scoop military fuel for this drive, so there's no way to refuel. If you get stuck out here, you just get stuck out here. Okay, so there is no way to do this mission other than cheat. So there we go. It clearly wasn't placed in, which is a shame. But I've gone slightly too far across. There we go. On we go. So. What we got to do when we I don't know what we got to do when we get I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look up the message. This is unpronounceable procedurally generated system. Where Frontier don't know their own law. Well, I wonder. I did post a comment on the forums a little while back, which basically was saying, I wonder if that the people now in charge of the law and stuff at Frontier probably haven't been at Frontier all that long, and probably through no fault of their own simply don't know what happened before, because it's not written down anywhere, is it? not in chronological order. And maybe the consistencies suffer due to that. I don't know. So I'm just catching up with the chat. Journalism these days, I know it's outrageous, isn't it? Just for Frontier. Do you use your loot saga? Yeah, wouldn't that be fun? It's like Frontier won't have read Drew's. Well, they did have Premonition on display on the shelf. They've got that little room with the Coriolis space station in the background, which is actually there, believe it or not. That's a monitor. I've been in that room. It's a monitor in the corner. Where David Braben and Arthur had their little chat? There's a monitor in the corner, upright monitor. That's actually a real screen. It's not a green screen thing. That's actually a real screen. Now I've been in that room, and a few years ago they had Premonition on the shelf. So I don't whether they actually read it or whether it was just a prop. I don't know. But it was there. So. So anyway, there we go. Is Michael Brooks not involved at all? No, I don't think he is. No, he is a friend of mine on Facebook, but I avoid talking to him about anything related to Elite Dangerous. I don't know. I did invite him to come on my law tour last year, but he politely declined. And so I get the impression, this might be entirely wrong, but I get the impression he no longer wants to either talk about or be officially or unofficially connected to. I don't know. He never posts anything up about Elite anymore. But as far as I know, he's still working at Frontier, and that may just be keeping his work and personal life separate, which is a very sensible thing to do. Yeah, so he left as executive producer of Frontier Developments for Elite Dangerous in June of 2017. And after that point, the whole kind of lore, story, narrative as we knew it up to that point just sort of dried up, really. And I think it's never really been the same since. The only comment I will add is it was slightly off the cuff. I was talking to David Michael Brooks about lore and stuff with Dave Hughes, actually, for those of you who remember Dave Hughes, the original timeline creator for the Elite Universe. And we were sort of chat. I think it was either Fantastical or Lave God. I can't remember which one it was. We're almost there. Look, one more jump. And we were talking about the lore and the trying to keep things consistent, all that sorts of stuff. And he said, we were talking about how difficult it was to get certain things published, and the things that we had to do to jump through David Braben's sign off process and all that kind of good stuff. And Michael Brooks just just looked at us both and went, "You don't have to work with him." I don't know what to make of that comment, really. It was kind of like, okay. So I don't know. Maybe he's very focused on certain things. I don't know. But you don't have to work with him was a comment that was made. So there we go. Right, here we are in the Miyaki Kiki system. Right, we have arrived. I have space tea. So, okay, this is the other thing with this game is, well, we're back. What do we do now? No clue. The game doesn't tell you. Where do I go? What do I do? Hello, Thargoids, I'm here. Is it Makeki 1? Is that where the... Oh, there's the question mark. Is that the Thargoid thingy? I mean, that seems like the logical place to go, doesn't it? Okay, let's go there then. You're space is full of annoyed people again. You're going to regret dealing with messages from Thargoid. Ah, okay. Oh, there we are. Incoming message from Thargoid clone leader. Please dock with our ship as before. Message ends. Okay. And my amazing Thargoid laser. Now, the nice thing about the Thargoid laser is it doesn't overheat. So, you're going to regret. And the problem here is I have now the entire galaxy of really annoyed people. I think the problem here is, as before, yes, I think it's probably a good idea to save the game here, isn't it? Just in case something goes wrong after we've done all that hyperspace flying. I think we'll find again that space is infested. Yeah, it's all the spouses of all the women I've killed now coming to get them. I can Thanos them away. So yes, let's do some Thanosing. So for those of you who don't know, I have a cheat system to make the game vaguely playable. So what I have to do here is I select all. I have to make sure that I don't accidentally erase the Thargoid ship that we're going to go and talk to, which I need to find on this list. Where is it? Question mark, question mark, question mark, surely. So the entire, oh, there it is. The Thargoid transporter. Right, so I'm gonna zap. Boom. Just obliterated them from the universe. Don't delete the Thargoids, says Governor. No, that's quite right. I have not deleted the Thargoids. Right, the Thargoids are getting quite excited. So onwards we go. The autopilot's engaged. With a bit of luck, the game will eventually respawn some ships to come and get me. You're going. There you go. It's respawned them. So I'm going to have to zap them all again. Check all. So it's respawned thousands of them. There's the Thargoid. Don't want that one. Zap. Remove ship. So I could just keep, like you say, Thanosing them out of existence. Because otherwise I'd spend literally hours fighting my way. Felicia has escaped the cull. So even see what's happening here. Even when I'm cheating at maximum power, the game is still finding a way to make it impossible. Right, so how many? Right, I'm killing about, I don't know, 40, 50, no, probably about 80 ships in I'm Thanosing about 80 ships out of existence every time I'm doing this. Here we go again. Right, remove ships. Boom, they've all gone again. So that's at least 160. They just respawn. It's like the game knows I'm cheating. This happens because you didn't destroy one of the satellites. Okay, so can I? If I put the Thargoid, the jammer on, will that help? And I've got the transmission jammer on, so no, apparently not. Check all. So it's just respawning everything. Remove ship. Go. You're going to regret the old instant respawn. Just die. Go away. Sound max. So it just instantly comes back. Actually, not so many. Not so many this time. Interesting enough. Let's Thanos them. So it's got to be at least 200 ships. There we go. Oh, coming in close. Okay, let's slow it down a little bit. Oh, what happened there? Ah, I've got a feeling I may have clicked on the wrong thing. Let's just double check that. Yeah, we've clicked on the wrong thing. We want to go to that. That one. Yay. Okay, so look, just leave me alone, Francis. I'm just going to have to zap her out of existence as well. Remove ship. Oh, she actually hit me. That's quite impressive. Right, let's get back in. Here we go. Right, with a bit of luck, we will. There we go. We're now heading in the right direction. It's only a little few AUs away. Can I just switch them off with a Drew bomb? No, alas. They don't respond. They circumvent the cheat mechanisms. That's why I think it's quite impressive. The game says nope, even with unlimited power. Oh right, oh that came in a bit fast. Right, so incoming. Right, here we are. We've arrived. Incoming message from Thargoid clone leader. Your mission has been 100% successful, Commander. So the Thargoids talk to us in plain English, okay? Okay, 100% success. We are in your debt. If you wish to wait, we will create for you a modified Thargoid warship. Ooh. That will far exceed anything you have ever commanded in drive, power, and military capabilities. Why would the Thargoids give us a Thargoid ship? I don't know. It will take some time to create a ship that's free of infection, and we suggest that you enter your altered time state to reduce the tedium of the wait. So the Thargoids are therefore aware of the Stardreamer technology. Alternatively, if you wish to leave us immediately, you may request launch now, and we will furnish your ship with items which, if traded, will bring you untold wealth. So Thargoids also know how our economic system works. Please indicate, as before, if you wish to stay with us and collect the warship. Message ends. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Should we collect the Thargoid warship or not? No free Anaconda, but you do get a free Thargoid warship. I mean, come on. Yes, collect it. Oh, all right then. You convinced me. Well, tell you what. Why don't I save it here, and we can maybe we can try both ends of the game. So let's call it, I don't know, Thargoid, I suppose. Thargoid. There we go. Oh. What happened there? It didn't. I haven't got the. Now I haven't got the message. So what did I do? I thought it was. You can keep the quest by never going. I think I might have to reload the save. The problem is the last save was when we were still. Oh, I don't want to save the current commander. I don't want to do. I want to load. Vaccine 2. The trouble is we were miles out in space. I might have to do that whole Thanos thing again. Ah, this game is so annoying. Yep. Select all. Remove ship. Maximum time acceleration. There we are. Respawning ships. Remove ship. Cage. You're going to regret seeing Sarah. I already do, Sarah. But you're just not going to exist in a moment, so sorry about that. Right, let's try and be a bit more careful. Again. It's just respawning the bad guys is just mean. There's no other word for it. Even if, I assume even if you do manage to fight your way through, it just keeps making sure that there are an unfeasibly large number of enemies about. That really is just quite nasty. Oh, that sounds like that was a missile. Right, I've got to set the hyperspace destination again. Autopilot is on. Right, let's save it here. There we go. That's a better place to save because that's before we actually get on board, isn't it? So let's call that Thargoid 29. Okay, so Thargoid 29. Whatever, Thargoid 31, something. Right, okay, so we're going to dock. Here we go. Here we go. This is the Thargoid base, I suppose. So we put our waggedy tail away, and this is the Thargoid. This is the Thargoid base. It's quite a big thing. So if you want to know what a Thargoid base looks like, that's what it looks like. It's a big thing actually. I can't get far enough away to get behind it. Maybe we can go and have a look at it later on. So, where's the ship? Come on. Thargoid bases rotate as well, clearly. Let's see if there's any kind of funky docking animation. No. Oh, that's a different message. Incoming message from Thargoid Clone Leader. Thank you. You have succeeded beyond our expectations. If you wait briefly, we will unload your ship. Okay. And they've got navigation lights, just like human spaceships, yeah. Okay, so now we're waiting. They've unloaded the ship. No, the microwave vaccine is still aboard, so are we waiting for them to respond? Has it? It told us to wait, so I am going to wait. How long? Today's birthing charge of 5 harbour credit has been deducted, thanks. Even the Thargoids charge you for birthing fees. I think the game has busted again. I'm going to save again. Right, dock. Okay. Incoming message from Thargoid. Thank you, you've exceeded beyond our expectations. If you wait briefly, we'll unload your ship and examine the cargo message in. Suggested response is no response. Put time acceleration when docking. Okay. Let's try that. It's just another bug. It's just such an appalling game. It really is. Maximum time acceleration. There we go. That worked. We're here. Oh dear. Trying to get this game to make you play it. Right, so this time we're going to get a Thargoid. Yeah, Thargoids use digital currency. So Thargoids know how economics works. They're prepared to give us a Thargoid warship, which I find very strange. Anyway, so let's have the Thargoid warship, shall we? Yes, we'd like the Thargoid warship, please. Okay, so that's encouragingly left a blank gap on the screen. Now, it did tell us we had to wait, so it will take some time to create a ship. So you enter our time state. So okay, let's go into our time state. How long? Oh, you're going to regret dealing with Ash Birmingham. Why? You're going to regret dealing with Simon Simpson. Presumably these guys are all hanging around the outside of the station, not bothered about the Thargoids at all. Becky, Kirsten, Tony, Alice, Liam. Oh, something just blew up. I don't know what happened. Jenny's back. Anita, oh dear. I don't want to offend any Anitas. That would be very bad. Greg, Xavier. Ooh. Someone's actually trying to shoot me, I think. So am I? No, I'm still in the quest. I've got a feeling it's busted again, guys. You turn this noise down. Oh, now it stopped. There we go. Oh, we're back. Well, the time is moving on. How long does it take to? It's such a bad noise. Isn't it? How long does it take? I don't know why it's alerting me inside the space station. Stops playing up. Who knows what's going on? Well, I've been here today's birthing trip. Doesn't matter what I do. Can I Thanos them? Yes, I suppose. Let's Thanos the hell out of them. I better not destroy it. Right, there we go. Just been Thanos away. And they're back. What? Oh no. I think. Oh no. There we go. So how long do I have to wait? You. Somehow I don't think this is working. Can I Thanos them? Yes, I can. I can Thanos them out of existence. The problem is I remove ship. So another day has gone past. So it's got to go. Sorry for that. How long do I have to wait for this Thargoid ship to be made? Does anybody know roughly? I need to. I hate to say it, but do you have to go back and kill the satellites before that? Well, we killed the satellite. We killed a satellite. Do we have to kill multiple satellites? I don't know. So, yeah, I'm just looking at the Jades thing here. It just says when it's finished, they will thank you again. Launch and then set off for Alior. So it just hasn't. A warship. I don't know how long. Probably a very long time, which would be. It should be fine if I wasn't always being set upon by his ships. Oh, come on. That's another day's gone past. Just going to select hostiles and remove. Oh no! Now the Buffett memory editor has also crashed. Gunblade Lad, it should have completed before now. I think the Inra ships are messing it up. The Thargoids don't give you a navigation computer on autopilot. So maybe we should just try reloading again. Let's just try loading, and then. So yes, I would like a Thargoid ship. Yes, please give me a Thargoid ship. I should be safe, of course. Really, shouldn't I? Inside. No, but they obviously gotten on to me. So, unless anybody's got any suggestions, I think I may have to hack the Thargoid ship that we're supposed to have at this point. Yeah. Stop it! Just stop it, please. So that's the same message. The same message has come back. So I wonder if the game is again surprisingly busted. It's actually the programmer's revenge, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hack the ship to the Thargoid ship that we're supposed to have. What ship I am in now? Well, I'm still in the Turner ship. Which doesn't seem to be changing. Unfortunately, the game nothing seems to happen. I'm just gonna even the cheat system is now crashing. I don't think it can cope with it. Don't think it can cope with the number of baddies that keep spawning to come get me. But I mean, how many days do you wait for them to build your ship? It's just days. Wait a little. Doesn't really help, does it? So I don't know. I think it's busted. I think is the answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give us the Thargoid ship. Now I don't know which one it is. There's Thargoid transporter, Thargoid. There's a small fighter ship, but which one is it? Simply wait for an amount of time. Yeah, it's just there's a Thargoid small fighter ship, but they didn't say a warship. There's also a Thargoid fleet ship with moving piston. Regular in-game Thargoid warship. Anyway, that must be it. Right, so it presumably comes with a Class 8 military drive. And the main gun is doubtless the Thargoid laser, so that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? And it's got lots of other stuff on board it, so so there we go. And I'm going to have 1,000 shield units because that's what it recommends you to buy. Cargo, I don't know, lots. So let's do that. Right. So there we go. We are now. This is what should have happened. While we're waiting, you tell us some jokes. I do any jokes. That's elite realism for you. Actually, have to wait for a warship to be built. So that's what's supposed to happen. Okay, we're supposed to end up with a Thargoid warship. That's supposed to happen. Why did the Thargoid cross which space? Come on then, Frank. Tell us. Because we're all dying to know. Simply wait for a amount of time. And to be fair to Jades, or the owner of Jades, Graham Thirlwell is his name according to the website. I did send him an email saying, hello, I'm playing this game through. You know, if you're about, please send me a reply. Otherwise, thanks very much. He hasn't responded to my email, so I don't know how often he checks it. So alas, I couldn't get Graham Thirlwell, the owner of Jades.org, to respond, which is a shame because without his website, this would have been utterly impossible. So anyway, so we're now flying. And this is correct for the game, okay? In terms of the story that's supposed to have happened. We now have a Thargoid warship, okay, with a Class 8 military drive, and all the other stuff, with a Thargoid laser on the front, and so on and so forth. So let's check out what this thing can do. Launch request. So off goes our Thargoid. So, yeah, oh look at that, it does look a bit... So the first thing first, let's have a look around this. That must be the rear view, right? So there's... that's... Which way we're facing? That's the external, that's... Did we come out... Oops. Unlawful discharge of a weapon is not permitted here. Sorry. Normally it comes out with front and rear lasers. Okay, let's put those on as well. Okay, so it gives you everything, which is fine. And it also comes with lots of spaces for Thargoid missiles, which I suppose we might as well have them as well. Let's have Thargoid missiles on, because you never know when a Thargoid missile is going to come in handy, do you? So we're now flying a Thargoid ship, and that's correct for the for the lore of this game. That's supposed to happen. Okay. And it seems to be flying backwards for some reason. Yeah, it is flying backwards. It came out backwards. Okay, so let's have externally. Let's have a look at the Thargoid ship. So it is a classic, slightly squashed Thargoid ship, with an undercarriage, sort of. So let's see if it's got any, at long last we've got rid of the waggedy tail. It's got a pair of sort of skids on the bottom, hasn't it? That's how Thargoids land, obviously. Anyway, let's just have a look at those again. Yeah, they're sort of Thargoid legs. So very reminiscent of the original game, actually. Let's just have a look. Let's just have a look at this base as well. I'm just going to fly around the back, just because, so we can go and have a quick peek. So it is rotating, as you can see there. Okay, so there we go. There's the Thargoid base. On our Thargoid. Now, here's an interesting thing from the lore. As we do know in Elite Dangerous 2, is that if I switch the engines on to full power, there's no drive exhaust. Okay, so it appears that the Thargoids are using some sort of reactionless space drive. Okay, so the Thargoids have got quite a neat space station, actually. Look. Sort of a pointy thing. There we are. So that's what the Thargoid space base looks like. Now I think our mission is still intact. So what we're supposed to do now is go back to Alioth. in our Thargoid warship. That's not going to alarm anyone, is it? Let's go back to Alioth because I need some fuel, which looks like military fuel. Let me just go and find it. There we go, max. Boom. That should give us. And we can jump crazy distances now. So a Thargoid can jump. Looks like 1,200. No, 123 light years in a jump, which is quite neat. Uses quite a lot of fuel to do it, as you can see. But that should get us back into the core world pretty darn quick. I haven't forgotten about the serious thing. We'll go and do the serious thing in a bit. But let's get back. Let's complete the game by. I need to actually click on the system. I like the way the unlawful discharge of a weapon is not permitted. Well, there aren't any police Thargoids, it seems. To come and get you. Okay. So actually the jump range isn't that much better than the other ship, is it, really? But it takes a lot more fuel to operate as well. Right, here we go. Yep, I know that. Let's keep going. Such an insanely long way. Another funny thing is that you can take the ship to any shipyard, happy service it for. Oh, I was going to say, we're heading for Alioth. Yes, we are. We're heading for Alioth. Yes, you can. It's a very stupid thing. I agree. You know, so you would have thought, you know, in the elite universe, that if you hyperspace out in a core world system, in a Thargoid warship, somebody would notice. But apparently not. Because nobody knows. Nobody knows. Like you say, this part of the game, I don't know. Did they just not expect anybody to ever get this far, or was it never tested, or a combination of both? Right, there's Alioth. Here we are. Right, we've returned to the Alioth system in our Thargoid warship. That's right. Even if it does, even the Thargoid ship. Right, so here we are, setting course for the heart of the. Do I have to go back to anywhere particular in Alioth? It just says return to Alioth. So let's go to one of the orbiting space stations. I can't remember which one it is. Casablanca Town, Gotham Park, or Aachen Town. So there's the new Rosyth shipyards. Have I got atmospheric shielding on board? Yes, I have. Let's go to New Rosyth, yeah, the Alliance shipyards, where there should be a fairly sizable military force. Okay. Dear. Alioth for Argent's. Which one is it? Is it Wicker's? Forgotten the name of the planet. Argent's Claim. There we are. Okay. There it is. Let's take our Thargoid warship. There's New Rosyth. And right, let's  presumably all the radioactives. Zzz. how much radioactive fuel it generated. There we go. Right. Now we're happy. Off we go. You're going to regret. Well, I suppose that sort of makes sense, doesn't it? Select hostiles, remove ship. Zup. There we go. Select hostiles, remove ship. Select hostiles, remove ship. Select hostiles, remove ship. So I'm still being hassled throughout the entire universe by the game. So I'm just gonna keep Thanosing them out. Ah no! My cheat mechanism crashed. The game. ECM system failure. There's a brand new ship. What? Although I suppose it isn't a brand new ship because I hacked it. Oh dear. What can you do? So now I haven't got an ECM system, and then so magically I do have an ECM system. So where's the I'm going to click the never needs servicing button. It's yet another cheat. Ah dear, this game. It's just so wrong. Right. Select hostiles. No hostile vessels. Looks like I've dealt with the hostile vessels. Are we? No, why isn't the high? Why isn't them? Here we are. Right. So let's go dock. Buffett can sort that as well. It was. Well, it had to happen. It had to happen somewhere in the stream. And no, I didn't save. So I suppose that is correct. Actually, the correct reaction, isn't it? Ah, dear. Right. So I've got to do that. Oh no, didn't I save? I thought I did. Pretty sure I saved it again after that. Or maybe I didn't. Did I not? I didn't. I'll tell you what I'm going to do then is I'm going to hack it from here. Because we just literally just need to complete this mission. We just got to get back to. Just got to get back to. This game doesn't want to end. We just need to get back to Alioth. We're currently in the Makeki system. That's no good. I don't want that one. Let's go back to Vaccine 29, where we're at the INRA base. Let's just get ourselves the heck back to. That one's got the. There we are. We just need to get back to Alioth. That's all that's left to do. Forgetting to save the game is the ultimate game experience. It is. Well, we have to die at least once in every stream. It's tradition. Right. Let us. How far is it to the? It can't be far from here, can it? Let's take off from. There we go. So we've done that. We've done the Thargoid thing. Although we are supposed to rock up in Thargoid space, in a Thargoid vessel. So I'm gonna still do that. Let's get ourselves into. See what I'll do is I'll get ourselves into Alioth. Where is Alioth? It can't be far away from here actually. It's up here somewhere, isn't it? Alliance space. Where is Alioth? Why can't I see it? There, no, that's Juby. Where's Alioth? That's Gateway. There it is. Right. So is it in range? Yeah, we can do that in one jump. Awesome. Let's do that. Right. So we're in Alioth. Okay. Right. I'm gonna turn this into a Thargoid. Everybody brace them. Thargoid warship. Thargoid. There we go. Right. Okay. Put Thargoid lasers on everywhere. I'm going to bother with the missiles because why would you? Let's have all the stuff. Let's have all the shields. There we go. Let's zap all the hostiles. Right. Okay. So we're in Alioth. We're in the Thargoid, as it were. We are a Thargoid warship with our undercarriage down. Right. There we go. Right. So here's to the end of the game. Let's save that. Let's call that Thargoid 3 because that's kind of where we've got to, isn't it? Oh, I can't do Thargoid 3. Thargoid 3, of course, because I only have 8 characters in the game. Right, there we go. Right. Let's set course for Alioth. let's reach the end, please. Reach the end of the game. Turner's World, Argent's Claim, isn't it? That's where we need to go. Okay, and we want to go to New Rosyth. Come on. There we go. Right, engage. Maximum warp. So here's our Thargoid ship, travelling gamefully through the Alioth system. I should stop showing people my undercarriage. I should really, shouldn't I? Man of my age should know better than to show my undercarriage. Let's hope Drew has the MIDI version of Never-Ending Story prepared for this. I am getting to the point where this game is just literally taking the mickey, isn't it? Doesn't. Nope. No, you're not getting there. You're out of fuel. Look, just let me finish the game. Please. Right, we're coming in. This is it. This is the end. Here we go. This time we haven't blown up. Remember this, they also neglect to fit atmospheric shielding, so there's very, unless you're very careful, there's a high chance of you burning up on re-entry if you're trying to go direct to New Rosyth. That's why. Oh, they didn't have atmospheric shielding. The Thargoids went, hey, you're not going to need that. Ah, dear. Right, here we are. So here we are above what in the lore of Elite is the New Rosyth's shipyard, the most advanced tactical military place in in the Alliance, in a Thargoid warship, unannounced, other than we've requested docking clearance, I suppose. Nobody's paying the blindest bit of attention to it. They're probably about to go, what? There's a Thargoid coming down! What? Everyone panic! No, it's fine. Not a problem at all. Doesn't that... It's just not right. To be fair, Thargoids were last seen in Elite where you could only dock at space. That's true, I suppose. So anyway, here we are in a Thargoid warship, docking, and in the Alliance. Okay, so no wonder the Alliance is a bit suspicious, because they're the ones who have broken this communication with the Thargoid. There we go. Well, the other thing is here, we're coming back in the Thargoid warship. When we get off, the obvious question from the Alliance tactical representatives to me, I think, would be, what did you do? Okay, mister, you've turned up in the Thargoid warship. Yeah, it's been impounded. What did you do with the Turner class ship that we gave you? I left that with the Thargoids. So you gave our top secret prototype best ever ship we ever made to a race of potentially hostile alien invaders. Oh, and then what happened there is it sort of disappeared on the pad. It's it's turned into a lifter. What? That's the end of game reward. Okay. After all your hard work, we're going to reward you with a lifter. That's as well. That is the ultimate endgame troll, isn't it? So that I believe is, yeah, there's no outstanding missions. That is the end of the game. Do the game thinks you cheated because you did. Try and go through that screen. How do I go through the screen correctly though? Because there's no way to get to that point. Check messages. They returned your ship. Commander Wegg, well done. You've there we go. Okay. Well done. You have succeeded in your mission. Excellent. Here's your fee, and we have returned your ship to you. So that's true actually, because what I did, if you remember, that Jade's mission advised me to buy a lifter, didn't I, before the Turner's quest? So they've impounded the Thargoid ship and given me back my ship, as they promised they would do. Oh, Churus Lux. We are talking Jape of the Decade. We're talking April, May, June, July and August full. So the message there, my friends, is don't go back to Alioth. If you want to keep your Thargoid ship. That was class. That is the way, and that is it sounds like an REM song, doesn't it? Don't go back to Alioth. I can transfer back to make sense. The Alliance of Thieving Cheats. Don't go hook, line, sinker and copy of Angling Time. Here's your lifter. Ah dear. Well, that is it. That is the end of the. That's the end of the mission. So the imps are the weakest link. Goodbye. Well, that's that is what happens. Okay, that is the game. That is the last mission. And I think, from what Jade's website says, there are a few more news articles that come out. Oh, what do the newspapers say? Do they say anything about all this? Argent destroys Imperial evidence. A 3-stage missile run on the shipyard. Actually, the new Rosyth shipyards have been destroyed. Golden Council, okay. Argent behind theft of Imperial ship. Okay, interesting. What about the Federal Times? So nothing mentioning the strange appearance of a Thargoid warship. Maybe it was all hush hush. Yes, and alternative lifestyle available. Yeah, so we gave the Thargoids a Turner class ship for them to work on. We gave the Alliance a Thargoid class ship to work on, and all we got. I think we should get T-shirts printed with this. I went all the way to the Thargoid base and back again, and all I got was a lousy lifter. Okay, so New Rosyth shipyard was last night the subject of a series of hit and run missile attacks. So that's been attacked. It doesn't look too bad from our approach. We didn't notice the missile attacks, I have to say. And the Universal Scientist is now talking about lethal fractals. Oh, Inra's Revenge. Oh no, that's still the New Rosyth shipyards. Okay, so wow, there we go. That is the end of the story. So it's just given us a lifter. I can't believe it's done that. Oddly enough, a lifter with 600 and in fact, no, nothing at all. Right, so let's go back and give ourselves the Thargoid ship. Now, I did promise that we'd go and visit the Sirius system, so let's go and do that. In fact, what I'm going to do is going in the Turner class. Oh, that looks horrible. Turner class system with its class 4 military drive. Let's just put some fuel in it. In fact, we can. Let's do it with the Thargoid vessel, because why not? Let's go back to this. Back to the save. Thargoid 3. There we are. Right. So here's us in our Thargoid ship once more. It does actually have a look. I didn't notice this before. It does have actually have a look at a Thargoidy kind of background, doesn't it? It's sort of organic-y sort of stuff going on there, a bit like a TARDIS interior with some wiggly green stuff. So that kind of is. So yes, let's go and visit Sirius B. I think I know why I'm being encouraged to go and visit Sirius B, but let's go anyway. There's Sirius. Insufficient fuel. Did I not put fuel in? I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. Oh, hang on. I need a class 8 military drive, which for some reason I don't have. Military fuel. There we go. Max. Boom. Right. Okay. So let's go to Sirius B. Now, Sirius B in real life is a white dwarf star. So the Jameson family is officially now. You see that bit about us delivering a Turner class ship to the Thargoids and then coming back with a Thargoid warship appears to have been retconned. So the only bit that in the Elite Dangerous universe that actually did happen was the attack on the Thargoids using the Inra-mycoid vaccine. That happened before the whole vaccine thing. Sorry, the Inra-mycoid virus. That attack did happen in the Elite Dangerous universe, but this thing about the vaccine and us being involved in trying to help the Thargoids seems to have been retconned. Okay, so everything you've just seen never happened. Okay, it was all a dream. Such is the consistency and integrity of the lore of the Elite Dangerous universe. Right, so that's Sirius is mostly an uninhabited. What was that message there? Oh, that's the message. Last message we received from the previous save. Interestingly enough. So that's Sirius. That's Sirius. There's Sirius B. Let's go to Sirius B. There we go. Now there's a little planet there called Lucifer. Let's go there first. Lucifer. That's quite a cool place. Let's go there first. Because this is quite a cool little thing. Yeah. The entire universe is still populated with people who wanted to kill me. They haven't forgiven me. I think I'm going to have this problem everywhere I go now, aren't I? With which fortunately I can Thanos them out of existence, which is a good thing. But yeah, so yeah, it's impossible without an Infinity Stone to agree. There's an alternate path on those missions to do that, but it was not implemented. So yeah, so there was a mission. You know, the branching point should have been that you could decide to help the Thargoids. Oops. Or not. Well, that didn't. That didn't work. I'm not quite sure. I think that's Sirius B. I don't. For some reason the hyperspace took us to crashed into a white dwarf, and that's it. Come on, this game is being so annoying. Right, come on. Max. There we go. Right, I want to go to Sirius B. Let's just stop being... The game is just cross with me now, isn't it? There's Alioth, though. I want to get to... There's the core systems. There's Sirius. Right, go to Sirius B. I'm going to have to save. I'm going to die soon. Yeah, I know that. Happens all the time. I'm going to remove all the hostile ships already. Let's save this and call it Sirius, shall we? There we go. Now I'm trying to get to the other thing that was orbiting Sirius B, which is Lucifer. That's where we were going. So why didn't it go there? What is Lucifer? Let's just have a look at that. What is it? Is that a planet? Yes, that's a rock. And there's Factory Central. Okay, so that's presumably the Sirius Corporation. Let's go there. In where we propose you blow up the Thargoid base and give you a Merkel. Yeah, okay, so that's what's supposed to happen. So there's supposed to be a branching mission. So either help the Thargoids, you decide to attack the Thargoids, and it's the attack the Thargoids branch that became canon in Elite Dangerous. Oh, right, again, the autopilot is doing some weird stuff. As per usual. Right, so there's Sirius B, okay. Notice it's a white dwarf. It's just respawned a bunch of hostile ships again. Right, so let's go into close orbit now. So okay, so this is there we are. We arrived at vicinity target. That'll do. That's Lucifer, which is the home of the Sirius Corporation. In the game. So let's save that since we're here. Now the interesting thing in here, now you remember way back at the middle of the Frontier, at the beginning of the Frontier encounter, Frontier Elite 2, we did gravitational slingshots of things. Who remembers those? Now Sirius, if I can find it, which I can't. There it is. Okay. That's what? How far away is that? That's 7 million kilometers away. So not actually very far. Okay. Let's head towards it. Okay, I'm heading away from it at the moment. Right, there we go. There's the targeting reticle. So what I'm going to do is watch this. Okay, so I'm now on a course. I'm going to switch the autopilot off, and I think I'm right in saying that if I've now adjusted the course slightly to one side. Okay, we're kind of heading. Let's do that. There we go. So I think that's about right. So let's try flying through. I'm going to fly through here with engines off. Okay, so this shows you this is, you know, all the planetary bodies in the game have gravity wells. Okay. And this one is particularly extreme. So let's fast forward time. Notice the speed. We are accelerating, which is good. You know, it's a gravity well. You'd expect that. There's no obvious course deviation yet, but I think I'm right in saying that beyond a certain point, well, we should notice some. Look at the speed rising now. We should notice some fairly extreme gravitational effects as we fall into the gravity well of Sirius B. I started at 800 kilometers a second. Okay, so let's see if it's close enough. It's now up to 850, and it's growing on the screen. Let's just get rid of all the hostile ships. We don't want them mucking about with our science, do we? Or maybe I have to be a bit closer than where I know. Actually, no. Look, the ship's course is now being deviated. by the gravity. We're now up to 1,000. Okay, so here we go. Watch the course, which of course this is the main reticle is the attitude vector, and the smaller one is the velocity vector. We're now up to 1,000 kilometers per second, which may be too fast. We'll see what happens. There we go. Look, even at ×2 acceleration now. Look at the acceleration. Our velocity vector is being bent quite dramatically by Sirius B. Apologies for the glitchy start, glitchy ring there. But so this is the gravity. We're very, very close to the start now. Are we going to have enough delta V to get away from it? I don't know, actually. We'll find out. So now we're getting quite drastically pulled in. So actually I'm going to just reorientate the ship. There we go. Look, there's the surface. So we're now being bent around. Let's start. Have we got enough escape velocity is the question. Looks like we might have, actually. So I don't know how slow you've got to go past Sirius B to get actually sucked in, but the gravity's pretty extreme. There we go. That's sort of Tokyo drift in space. Look, so now we're still travelling sideways. Yeah, the velocity vector is no longer bending. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the engines back on. Let's bring the ship to a halt. There we are. Relatively. And let's fly between the gap in the rings and see what happens there. Kind of want to be over there a little bit, actually. They're not that fast. It's insanely fast. Right, here we go. Let's get it face on. Actually, see what we'll do is we'll go across the rings, because that'll be slightly amusing. Whoa, what happened there? Whoa, we're actually really fast again. I think I got too close. What's happening here? Am I actually? There we go. See what? There's something I want to try and do here, basically. So we're sort of okay. So we are. Let's put that into set 0. I'm going to try and bring the ship to a halt. Quite clear. Actually, no, look, we're being sucked in. Even though I'm trying to accelerate away, the gravity is pulling me in. Where is the? There it is. There. Okay, so I actually kind of need to. There. What is happening? There we go. I'm trying to thrust away from the. There we go. Right. Full thrust. Can the Thargoid vessel escape? Yes, it can. Right. There's just enough. Right. Let's just get out of range a little bit. What's going on? Oh. Don't muck about with white dwarf stars. Let's just try that again. I just want to show you a thing, okay? Let's try this again. Right, I want to get a bit closer and show you that gravitational anomaly. Right, let's just try it again. Right, go. I think I've kind of demonstrated it anyway, but let's try and demonstrate it really, really properly. Right, so we're now accelerating towards it. Okay, autopilot. I want to slow that down. Right, so I think here, if I put the engines, turn the autopilot off, let's put the engines to set 0, actually bring the ship to a halt relative. I think slowing down. Is it slowing down enough? No, it's not. Let's turn the ship over. This is quite hard to do, actually. There we go. That's actually kind of like an accretion disk thing that's going on there, isn't it? That's actually quite good. Anyway, we're still travelling. Ah, look, now we're accelerating. No matter what the ship is doing, I've got the engines on full thrust. Notice that I'm actually stuck in the gravity well. This is the Thargoid warship. I've set the throttle to full power, and I am actually getting sucked in. I can't, I'm actually accelerating backwards. I'm stuck in the gravity well. There's nothing I can do here other than hyperspace out. So I am now doomed to crash on Sirius B. So there is a threshold around this star where it doesn't matter what you do, you get sucked in, which I've already gone past. So if we speed up time, what will happen is, slowly and surely, there we go, I'm getting sucked in, and we'll eventually get sucked into, which is actually a sort of, it's more like a flat disc, isn't it? Not a sphere. It is actually rotating here at so it's like it has sort of I suppose you could try slingshotting out. The only way I can do that is, I suppose the best way to do it would be to thrust at right angles and try to see if I can use its velocity to help. Will that help? You can try these sort of things. So there we go, the Thargoid is at full right angles thrust, I think, pretty much. We're about to hit, no, there goes, that's the end. Boom. There we are, we ended our days in the atmosphere of Sirius B. So that is quite clever. Okay, there's an infinite gravity well there, effectively. I don't, unless anybody tells me otherwise, I don't think there are any black holes in Elite, in Frontier First Encounters. So go to Sirius B. There's probably that would be an excellent game. Is that how close can you get to Sirius B at what speed, and still survive the encounter? So that's quite good fun. So Sirius B, skating, very very dangerous, but potentially quite fun. So tacking around Sirius B. Now that, my friends, is the end of Frontier First Encounters. There is nothing more other than those very, very, very broken missions, and you end up getting either a Thargoid ship if you're smart and not go back to Alioth. But if you do go to Alioth, all you do is end up with a lifter. And that story obviously continues onwards and onwards. Now, somebody earlier in the stream did mention. That isn't it a shame that Drew doesn't have a MIDI rendition of the never-ending story as an end piece. Now, it's funny you should say that, and this genuinely hasn't been set up. But I was thinking this, thinking last week, not last week, a few weeks ago. How shall I end this? And by a startling coincidence, I thought, I know what 80s tune will go with this unique experience of having played Frontier First Encounters. I thought, I know, the never-ending story will be perfect. So, without any further ado, my friends, here you go. So, the story of Frontier First. I'm going to have to switch the mic off, otherwise it screws up the MIDI. But here we go. Enjoy, my friends. A MIDI rendition of Frontier First Encounters. The end. So there you go. That is it. We have finished. We have finished the entirety of Elite, the original game, Elite Frontier 2, Frontier Elite 2, and Frontier First Encounters. That is the experience. That's everything that happened before for Elite Dangerous. So now you know it's there, and actually that theme tune works surprisingly well with the intro sequence, doesn't it? I think that actually looks quite good. But anyway, so that's all for today, my friends. Thank you very much for your company. I hope you appreciated the insight and the excitement and the adventure that was Frontier First Encounters. We have now completed that game too, in a manner of speaking. I will be back next week with some. I'll go through the list and see what takes my fancy the most. But yes, more space game retro pew pew goodness, I think, for next Saturday. Monday back for the normal sci-fi fantasy discussion stream. So what's next on the retro stream? Yes, I think we're going to concentrate on retro space games of some description. Okay, so maybe a little bit of a tour of the way space games have evolved over all the years. So I'm going to see if I can go right back to the beginning and see what I can dig up. But I'll let you know. I think that's going to be quite good fun. Monday is my retro, not my retro, my science fiction fantasy writing discussion stream, and then Thursday. Thursday is supposed to be Elite Dangerous. I must admit, I've got a bit of catching up to do in terms of where the hell we are with Elite Dangerous, and I know all my clients are all out of date because there's been the odd patch, I understand. So I need to go and get some stuff up to date and see if it'll work. So I shall catch up on all the gossip on Elite. I heard there was a roadmap of sorts and some other stuff while I was away on holiday. So yeah, not a particularly impressive roadmap, but there we go, and lots of patches, which is good. So let's go and find out what's going on there. So that'll be Thursday. But yes, more retro space stuff. Oh yeah, mainframe Star Trek. I quite fancy the idea of that. Could be quite good fun. Let's go back in time and see what's going on. So yes, Space War and all those kind of original games. See you soon. Anyway, my friends, thank you very much for your time. Hope you've enjoyed yourself. Back on Monday, back on Thursday, back on Saturday. So see you then. Have a fantastic weekend, and look after yourselves. Right on, Commanders. See you soon. Take care now. Bye bye.